Using these scorecards, a business can see, which areas you can improve and which areas you have to work hard. So the other components, we'll continue the other components. Report Studio is used to generate professional and standard reports. So these reports are basically seen by the top level management of the organization, and then these reports are probably they'll stay longer, much longer. So at the end of every year, the top level management would like to see the revenue generated in the year, or at the end of every quarter, the top level management will see where the company is going, and you want to compare the current quarter results with the prior quarter results. All these types of reports will be generated by using Report Studio. Then Event Studio. Event Studio has some agents that check the data time to time. Whenever an agent detects a particular condition, so Event Studio actually generates some emails or running reports, etc. So, for example, if a particular supervisor has become a manager, so that is an event for the organization. So whenever an employee generates revenue more than $2 lakh, that will become an event for the organization. So whenever these type of events occurs in the organization, they should be notified across the organization. Suppose say supervisor is becoming manager, so this event has to be notified to all the employees of the organization, and then it has to be notified to the HR department so that they can do the necessary arrangements, and it has to be notified to the accounts department so that they can increase the employee's salary, and they can update the details, etc. and all. So Event Studio does not generate any reports as such, because Event Studio is purely to detect the events and take action again according to the event conditions. So they can automate the processes in the organization by generating the emails automatically. And we have Cognos connection, which is used to manage the content and administration of the Cognos server. So if you want to access any Report Studio or Query Studio or any other studio, you have to go through the Cognos connection. So you can do the administration activities like starting the server and stopping the server. We can transfer the reports generated in one server to the another server by using Cognos connection. So those are all the web-based user interfaces, and now we'll see some of the Windows-based user interfaces. The main user interface that we have is Framework Manager. The Framework Manager is used to create packages based on relational and dimensional data. These packages are published to the Cognos connection, which will be used to create reports in various studios. Okay, so if you are accessing studios like Report Studio and Query Studio, they'll be based on packages. So these packages are published from the Framework Manager. The input for the Framework Manager is a database or any other data source, and the output will be a package. The other user interface, which is a Power Play Transformer, is used to create Power Play cubes. And there is a map manager used to create a user defined map, something to show a weather report or a human body parts or a building plan, etc. And the metric designer is especially the source for the metric studio. So in metric designers, we'll identify the basic metrics that are used for the business, and these metrics are in turn used to create the scorecards. Now let's see the workflow of the Cognos8. So Cognos8, the starting point of the Cognos8 is a database, so or a Power Play cube or any other MLOP cubes. So from the database, Cognos8 Framework Manager will get the metadata from the database, and Framework Manager will use this metadata to create some queries in it. So these queries basically contains some query, something like select star from EMP or select star from orders. And then we can add some join conditions in the Framework Manager. We can add some calculations. We can do the aliasing in the Framework Manager and all. And from the Framework Manager, you'll get packages. These packages are published to the Cognos connection. So in Cognos connection, we'll find various types of studios like Report Studio, Query Studio. These packages will go to the report server, and by making use of these packages, we can create the reports in Report Studio and other studios. So when we create a report in Query Studio or Report Studio, basically the Query Studio, Report Studio, it will generate an SQL query, and it will fire that SQL query on the database, and in turn it will get the data from the database and